Hey everybody, this is a super impromptu fuse box engaged. I sent out some invites to people who I didn't really tell anybody about it beforehand, so there's a very strong chance that nobody's going to show up, which I'm okay with, kind of. I had pretty much said I was gonna do this every Tuesday, and of course, today I overslept and I totally forgot that I was gonna do this. So I just decided, what the hell? I'm just gonna send out invites and see what happens. You know, make it real shenanigan-y. If you watched my video yesterday, you probably know, yeah, I've been working a lot. So haven't really put enough thought into my online stuff lately. Which, I mean, I don't know. I kind of prefer things to be a little casual, a little impromptu. I feel like there's a little too much of a formality sometimes. But I mean, I guess some formality's okay. You know. But I don't like the pressure and all that. Or at least that's what happens for me. I don't know how it is for everybody else. But anyway, yeah, my fundraising goal is going well. So far, I'm going to be able to fund some art very soon. I got my artist working on it as we speak. So I'm really excited to get some new artwork. Sorry. So, yeah, I'm really excited to get some new artwork very soon. I want to get the next issue of Outlaw Nights rolling. I've been sitting on it for a while, and I hate it. I think about it a lot. Yeah. So, I really want to. I was hoping that more folks would start backing Outlaw Nights, because I really want to get the word out more. I feel like in many ways I've kind of exhausted so many ways of doing that. I'm kind of notorious on Twitter in some ways, because I think a lot of people got used to me mostly just posting the shit out of my link. And I think a few people were offended by it, which is kind of dumb to me, because I mean, there's all this thing about Twitter etiquette and all that, what you're supposed to do on Twitter, how you're supposed to conduct yourself. And I'm like, it's the internet. The entire thing about internet interaction was that everything was supposed to be, it was supposed to be kind of like the Wild West. At least that's how it was when I got into it when I was younger. And it's everybody's becoming extremely sensitive and butthurt about not even about the usual crap that I've bitched about on this channel before. I mean, just the sensitive, you don't post things on that thread. You don't you're not, whatever, you're supposed to only say this kind of thing on that kind of thread. There's some sort of hierarchy on Twitter, which to me, it's Twitter's not worthy of respect, it's not worthy of being just so wound tight about. There's people who make it their entire lives, and that's not healthy at all. I mean, I use it too much, but it's not the be all and end all of my existence, And maybe I shouldn't go down that road for some shenanigans. You know, again, this is super impromptu. I'm rambling a little bit, but yeah. So I've been having a pretty lazy day off of work for the most part. I've been sleeping. Um, and for those of you who don't know, I quit smoking marijuana uh, about a little over a month ago. Um, actually, we might be getting close to 2 months, which is pretty crazy because I was a habitual smoker, and I always thought it kind of helped my creativity and it helped me relax, but in recent times, it's been doing kind of the opposite. I was very high strung, um, and it was just like it was making anxiety kind of impossible for me to manage. And I mean, a lot of you don't know this about me because I don't really brag about it too much, but um, I've been dealing with like a bizarre issue with anxiety connected to being in cars. And over the past couple years, it's really limited my life. And it's made it to where I haven't really been able to go outside the city. And it sucks because there's a lot of things that I've been wanting to do that I just felt like I haven't been able to because of this condition. So it's good to I feel like it's a good thing that I slacked off of it. Plus I've lost some weight because I'm not getting the munchies. That's always good. Um, and I'm hoping to get back into it. I'm hoping to face this thing down and get back out in the world some more because I miss it. Um, so yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff. But I'm hopeful. I think things are gonna be good. And yeah, I mean, but I'm hoping. But yeah, bleh. So anyway, if you haven't backed it yet, back Outlaw Nights issue number 1. I'm very proud of it. Uh, so far, so good with people reviewing it. Although, I think I got one review that said that they thought it was too short, which, I totally agree with because I wanted this issue to be double the size that it was, and unfortunately, couldn't afford that. See, like the biggest problem being a writer of independent comics and not an artist is that you got to pay people. um, and so it gets costly. Like I know, like if you look at the campaign, like you look at eight grand. That's like wow, holy crap! How do you do that? Blah blah blah. But it's like, yeah, I didn't keep any of that. Like I didn't get to pocket anything. I didn't make a profit. Um, it all went into production, and I ended up spending a little bit more than that actually getting it out there. So that's why I'm raising money for preliminary artwork for issue 2, and hopefully that's gonna go well. Um, yeah, I wish I could share things right now. I feel weird about trying to share things on StreamYard because like I'm using my cell phone right now, and I'm afraid like if I minimize this and go to something else, it's gonna like X me out. And I think like a couple guys on my last live stream were telling me that that's okay. Like the stream will still be up, but That'd be weird to cut to dead air, you know, for a few minutes. So, and plus, I mean, honestly, just I haven't been that tapped into internet crap lately because it just like I don't know if it's just a sign of me getting older or what, but I just so much of it just feels like a waste. It just feels like a waste of energy, you know? Like I used to be into a lot of outrage YouTube stuff. I used to kind of enjoy like slam videos and all that, like you know, because I have kind of a wicked sense of humor. But it like the older I get, the more I realize like that shit doesn't, you know, it just doesn't last in terms of like helping you be happy. And like, and the biggest fear I had was like, you know, like the people I had a problem with who, like, you know, the SJW type, um, you know, the extreme of that side. Like, I don't want to become the other extreme. I don't want to become somebody who's just like, you know, constantly obsessing over what they're doing and like trying, you know, just following them around because like it just feels like, well, again, it feels like it's you're wasting your life, number one, and then number two, you're not really defeating them in any significant way. You're giving them attention. You're giving them exactly what they want. You're giving them relevance, and that's not worth it. You know, it's like you're letting the spoiled kids get your attention, and that's what spoiled kids want. So it's just not worth it. And yeah, that's pretty much. I think that's pretty much all I. You know, this stream might end up just be me dumping out my crap, whatever. So the term shenanigans probably isn't a good marker. Lordy, you'll have to forgive me. I'm still kind of, you know, the gears are still kind of turning. Oh Lord, what is this? Thank you, wise guys, for your thank you. Hail the chat that consists of you. Welcome. But you know, yeah, I'm not into that to outrage YouTube anymore. I just don't like it anymore. It it's just not worth it. I'm totally cool with that, man. I appreciate it. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Lordy, lordy. But yeah, so just been thinking a lot about that kind of stuff. And I want to, you know, I really want to branch back into filmmaking. That's something I really want to get back into. But in order to do that, I got to get past this car issue crap. And I really want to get a new computer because then I'll be able to start doing edited videos again. And that is, you know, that's where I think I can really excel. The best part is when I can record myself and I can cut out all my ums and all my parts where I'm trying to catch up to my thoughts, you know? Lordy, lordy. Well, what's going on with you, wise guys? How's work going? Lordy. Yeah. But anyway, Outlaw Nights. Oh, no, I don't want to quit YouTube. I was just talking about how I used to be into a lot of outragey type of YouTube stuff, like, you know, the people who kind of follow the SJWs around and constantly report what they're doing. You know, and I thought it was fun and it was funny for a while, but after a while it felt like it was just such a waste, you know. It just felt like it's like you're basically kind of giving them what they want, which is attention. Is they're spoiled children, you know, and everything they're gonna do, they want a visceral reaction or some kind of reaction. And so it's like the more we do that kind of stuff, the more it kind of exacerbates the problem in some ways. Kind of, yeah. I mean, I still find that a little funny, but yeah, I find that like that stuff, it's like the biggest worry I have is like, you know, going from one extreme to the other. So it's like I'm not really an extreme kind of guy. Like, you know, the biggest reason I didn't like SJWism in the first place was just that it diminished the concept of individuality. It was all about group identity, and that's not a great way to look at people or life, you know. Like every single person is different in some way, and when you classify somebody just by a group, you know, you take away that spark, that individuality. You take away anything about them that kind of makes them special. And yeah, you could argue that I'm kind of doing that with SJWs, but it's like, to me, you know, it's like they see the world in group identity, so it's like, you know, you get what you give. Maybe that's hypocritical of me, I don't know, but I don't really care. You know. But yeah, no, with yeah, my computer is pretty much dead. My my laptop is totally fried. Won't even turn on. Um, and my other laptop has always been kind of crap for a while. Yeah, I totally get that. I haven't been able to back projects in a long time because I've been saving up. It kind of sucks, you know, but I mean, got to get to the goal somehow. Lord. But, you know, I am really looking forward to getting some of the preliminary artwork in for issue 2 of Outlaw Nights. Nah, I didn't. You know, I don't even know what happened to it. It just seemed like it just started going downhill at some point. Like, I know at one point, like, there was one point where basically, like, I couldn't even turn it on without it being plugged in. Like the battery was totally messed up, and this is a Mac laptop, and I have no idea how to switch the battery in a Mac laptop. And then, oh lordy, we got a guest.
What's up, Ben?
Hey, not much. I was just hosting a totally impromptu stream where I was just dumping my guts out.
So did I come to save you?
Yes.
How you been, man?
I've been doing well, working my ass off.
Know that feeling.
Hell yeah.
I don't know how long I'll be here, but I wanted to drop in since you dropped me the link and tell you hi. Happy New Year. I hope you had a Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you. I hope you did too. I actually had I had a super quiet Christmas because now there's been a COVID scare among my parents and my aunt and uncle.
Oh no.
Yeah. So like we were all pretty much separated off. That kind of sucked.
I went and saw my mom Sunday, so I had a good one. I don't get to see my
Nice.
mom a lot, so
Well, that's good.
yeah. She good people.
Hell yeah.
So it was good. She got to see her grandkids. Got them a bunch of gifts, and they got to open them and run around and drive us all nuts with all the noise making.
Lordy, lordy.
What are you doing for New Year's?
I don't really have any plans. All my in town friends are acting like old people.
Everybody's acting like old people now.
I know, but like they're like extra. Like my best friend, he's like always fucking working. And like I think I'm gonna get to see him on like January 8th because we're gonna be going to New Orleans Comic Con together.
Cool, cool.
I'm actually gonna be having a booth there.
Who all's gonna be there? Do you know?
Um, I don't really know. I know I'm gonna be there.
I wonder if any other CGers are gonna be there.
I think maybe Anthony might be there. Anthony Figaro.
Mm-hmm.
And possibly Preston Acevedo.
All right.
Maybe.
There's a good group right there to go out and hang out with.
Yeah, like Preston though, like Preston lives on the North Shore, which that's a bitch to get to.
I bet.
They got this bridge that's like it takes you like an hour over the sea or over the lake.
Is it like down in the swamps and stuff?
No, it's like it's directly across Lake Pontchartrain, which is huge. So it's like an hour of just being on a bridge
Ugh,
over
no,
the water.
no, forget that. Forget all that. I don't do bridges and water.
I totally understand. I was talking earlier about how like I don't really talk about this a lot, but one of the reasons I haven't been super out there like social is that over the past couple of years I've been dealing with this weird car anxiety issue. And it all started when I was like drinking and partying way too much.
Did you ever wreck?
No, but like well I did actually have kind of a wreck while I was driving on the interstate once. Like but
Kinda
it wasn't
had a wreck. Kinda.
well it was like I was driving home and I was driving home a little bit stoned, which I shouldn't have been. And so I was nervous as hell. I was like gripping the wheel, and some drunk driver out of nowhere just like slammed into the side of me, grinded, like took off my mirror and then sped off. Like he almost ran me off the road.
Oh wow.
And that shit and I was with my girlfriend at the time, and I was just like clutching the wheel, like, start, stop all the way home.
I bet. I've had a ton of wrecks. I'm the poster child for women drivers.
Hell yeah. No, see, I've always like even when I was driving around a lot, I drove like an old lady. I was super, super slow driver, and I was very careful. And but like over the past couple of years, I've just kind of had like this phobia of being in cars, and it's just kind of it's limited me a lot. And so that's part of the reason why like I quit drinking like years ago, and then just like now, like a little over a month, I'm like completely sober, like no weed, no nothing.
Good for you, man.
Well, thank you.
Stick to it. That's awesome. That's awesome. I've been clean and sober of drugs for about 10 years, 11 years.
Hell yeah.
Alcohol, I've had my run-ins with it, and I get sober, and then I have a run-in with it. And it's one of them demons. It's hard to kick.
I totally get that. Yeah, like that's why I've been
But today I'm sober.
Hell yeah.
So that's what matters, and that's what counts.
And that's why I'm feeling more confident. Like I think I'm gonna be able to get back into the swing of things, like car wise.
There you go. It can be. I was in a really bad car wreck when I was 13. A drunk driver hit us head on,
Fuck.
and we'd went around the curve, and he was coming around the other way, and my mom literally got off the road into someone's yard, and he still managed to hit us head on, and my face broke the windshield. Yeah,
Damn.
it was bad. Me and my brother were life flighted, and then the guy that hit us was life flighted as well. And he actually coded a couple of times on the way to the hospital. So
Ooh. Damn.
his speedometer broke at 97.
God damn.
Yeah.
Thank God you're around. Like,
Right?
who
I
else
tried
is gonna save
anytime
my
possible,
impromptu
but
streams?
do it.
Who else is gonna save my impromptu streams?
Right? Who's gonna save you, Ben? Who's gonna save you?
Yeah.
A drunk versus a pothead.
Yeah.
The drunk's
like
more likely to cause that crash than a pothead is.
I feel like even being sober, I look like a pothead. Cause like my eyes, I have my squinty eyes.
So what's going on with your book and stuff? Are you still
I am currently I got my artist working on some preliminary artwork for issue 2.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
So I'm ready
man.
to get that going. I hate how slow it's been, like between issues.
By the way, what's up, wise guys? I saw he's in your chat.
Yeah, like he's been pretty much my audience member for now.
Wise is awesome. Once you get back up and start streaming more and stuff, you'll have more people come in. A lot of people right now too are probably still with family and
Yeah.
doing the whole holiday thing and
Oh, definitely. I'd be doing it too if everybody wasn't afraid.
I'm just I hopped on because I'm waiting on laundry to dry. It's like I got a few minutes while the laundry's drying.
Well, I appreciate it.
But I love you, man. You're awesome.
Love you too.
You be safe if you do happen to go out on New Year's Eve. Anyone in the chat, be safe. Have fun.
Definitely.
Ring in the new year the right way,
Exactly. Hell yeah. Those are words to live by, wise guys.
Right. I don't know. I think God just has a different plan for us,
Oh yeah. And that's
Like
part
I
of
said, there've been so
that's
many
part of what's
times
fun about life.
I tried not to wake up the next morning, and you know what? Didn't happen because God had a different plan for me.
Exactly. That's what I was talking about earlier with I was talking about like individualism. And that was ultimately why I didn't like all this like the SJW movement stuff. Was because it was all about putting group identity ahead of individuality.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just not a healthy way to look at life. Like,
Well, they don't make sense either. None of their stuff makes sense. It's like they don't know how anything in life works. They've never had to struggle for anything. They've got to sit on their computers or their phones behind a screen their whole life and do
yeah.
nothing. They've never had to struggle. They've never been hungry. They've never had to worry about, paying the light bill.
And it's just like, but it's like, it's even to me, it's like, it's just tunnel vision, It's like
It really is.
viewing you're just like a subsection of this group and this group and this group. So you're going to have these traits. It's like, that's not how people work, like.
And when did liberalism become more government, more corporate?
I don't call it liberalism because it's like
It's really
liberalism
not.
means you're accepting of different viewpoints, and like you're willing to talk about things. You know, it's about like bringing in all comers, and that's why I call it leftism, because it's like it's kind of like what the hard right is. You know,
Yeah.
it's militant, and it's like everybody's got to fit into this box, or it's like either good or evil people. You know, like
They're the same face of the opposite side of the coins, right?
exactly.
It's like they just want to control and tell everybody how to think and how to live. And you know what? Fuck that shit.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, it's like people aren't uh people don't have that kind of authority, and they shouldn't, you know? Like
Yeah. Well, that's not like when you have the one person that goes rogue, right, in the group. Like you'll have that one person that goes rogue in Comicsgate, right? And they'll go after somebody and they'll say some pretty harsh shit. And they're like, but that's your people. That's your people. That's not our fault that they're telling you that. We're not telling them to tell you that. Like, how stupid do people have to be?
Oh, I know. Like there've been times where I was, you know, I've gotten into several arguments with like different accounts, like that hairs guy.
Mm-hmm.
And like he every time I got into an argument with him, he would always like talk about something that somebody I don't even know was doing. And it's like I'm not responsible for that person. Like I don't know them. Like,
We're all responsible for ourselves. We're not responsible for the actions or words or behaviors of other people.
yeah, because it's like I mean, I consider CG kind of I mean, it's technically I wouldn't call it a group per se. It's kind of like just a philosophy, I think. I mean, you know, like there's we all kind of network together in a lot of ways, but I mean, you know, there's people in CG I don't get along with, you know, like
There's people that all of us don't get along with, you know. You're
yeah.
not going to get along with everybody because everybody has a different walk in life and different experiences, and their experiences are what make them, and your experiences are what make you. And so, like me, for instance, you know, I'm a mom. You know, that's my first and foremost, and
It's an
that plays
underrated
into a lot
job.
of, huh?
That's an underrated job these days.
Right. I know I was arguing with somebody over on Twitter about pro-choice versus pro-life or whatever. I mean, people do what they want to do, right? Like it's your
Yeah.
choice. You do whatever you want to do. I don't care. I don't care what people do. What grown-ups do, I don't care. Okay? If it doesn't affect me and it's not hurting me and it's not hurting my children, I don't care.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're gonna come out and be nasty about it, I'm gonna call you on it. I'm gonna call you on your
Yeah.
bullshit. And a lot of these people are just nasty.
Oh yeah, I do that a lot on Twitter. I kind of like whenever I see something just nasty or whatever, I always kind of try to flip it back at them.
Like I said, they don't know how anything works. They don't know how babies are made. They don't know how anything happens.
Well, I mean, doesn't like the stork come and drop off the baby?
Of course.
Okay.
No, 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 no. That's not how babies are made. Babies come from the night sky where all little monsters come from.
Okay. See, that's a different version I hadn't heard. Speaking of babies, good stuff. Good stuff. This is a very philosophical Tuesday shenanigans. I think it's because my comedy right now is just kind of meh. That's why my best friend Nick needs to get his butt out of freaking work. My best friend Nick is like the funniest guy on earth, and that's why.
Sorry, Ben.
Oh, no problem. I was just rambling.
My little one was telling us about how she died. I died. See?
What?
I have no idea where that's coming from.
How did she come back?
Well, how'd you come back? Me? You came back because of me? Okay. This is my life. My life. Well, Ben, I gotta get in here and take care of this one. I appreciate you letting me hop on and hang out with you for a few.
Of course, anytime.
You have a happy new year if I don't see you before, okay?
Yeah, you too. Absolutely.
Nothing but love, man. Bye.
Bye.
Like I said, this is my life.
I do plan on having those someday. I've been taking my time with it though. It would help if, it would help if I was having sex at the moment. Ah, Christ. Good stuff. Lola's awesome. Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna go a full hour with this because, I don't think I can ramble too much in that time. But Outlaw Nights still available in demand, but I'm gonna be taking it off, I think, within the next month at some point. I'm gonna keep it up at least through January 8th because I'm gonna be going to Mighty Con here in New Orleans, and hopefully gonna get the word out by word of mouth. Be cool to meet people in person. Uh, and yeah, it's an awesome book. It's freaking awesome. And my plans for issue 2, issue 2 is gonna be more. We're gonna delve into the characters some more in issue 2, because I think issue 1 is very much, I would call it kind of the inciting incident of the saga. It's a series of action beats that all kind of cascade, and that kind of goes along with the theme that I'm working with, which is that it's kind of how life hits you between the eyes. Uh, you know, Things will happen in your life that you didn't expect or plan on. And, if you're like me, you're very resistant to it at first. But it's that nothing's gonna turn out the way you planned it exactly. I mean, that's been happening a lot. I mean, with me. I mean, hell, it happened with Outlaw Nights. But because like I think when I launched my first campaign, it didn't succeed, and it was because I was a little overconfident in the idea that, like, oh well, the book will just kind of sell itself, and that's not how it works, because there's a lot of good stuff out there, and there's a lot of stuff that is seemingly good at first, and I think people kind of regret afterwards. So people are more discerning than I gave them credit for, and so I had to come out here and actually talk about it, and I had to promote it myself, and I think that's been good for me, and I think it's kind of helped. It's kind of helping me in my growing up, because I'm 32, going on 18. Still figuring shit out. But yeah. That is so damn true. That is very true, because I mean, more people are producing stuff than they were even just 2 years ago. Oh hell, I appreciate that. Sometimes I feel old. It's weird with my squinty ass eyes. See, I didn't think. I thought you were younger than that. I thought you were like maybe 38. So that's awesome for you. Hell yeah. Um, yeah. Damn. 49. Holy crap. 49, yet you have the soul of a 38-year-old. That's the way to do it. I mean, ultimately, my end game, I plan on living forever. So, and I think that's an achievable goal. I mean, there's all kinds of methods. There's the fountain of youth. There's getting obscenely wealthy. There's giving your soul to an elder god, something like that. I think, this just remember there are options when it comes to this stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I've been having my lazy day off and I love it. I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy. Love Final Fantasy. Yes. Hell yeah. That's the way to be. Getting carded. I don't get carded for anything anymore. Because I'm not buying anything illegal or not buying anything that's controlled. This is the reason why I like to usually cover my face when I'm on stream. Because I feel kind of awkward. Yeah. What is that? The Holy Grail? Yeah. The Holy Grail, the Ark of the Covenant, um, the Indian idol from the second one, something about aliens and refrigerators. I actually didn't watch the fourth Indiana Jones, and from everything I've heard, I'm glad I didn't. Always remember, you don't need to watch something if it looks bad. You don't need to watch it. Your time is more valuable than that. I honestly feel like the biggest reason. Wait, hold up. Oh, it does. Okay, well, that's not an option. Shit. Well, let's see. Yeah, no, I was saying like I feel like the biggest reason that shows like Batwoman are still on TV is because people make videos about it and talk about how bad it is. Like I feel like that's the biggest reason it's still around. That might be me being overly optimistic about the human race, but yeah, no, I hated that. Like that was a terrible choice for an Indiana Jones project. Why? Like when you establish kind of your lore and kind of the legend and kind of mythical part of spirituality, and then you jump from that to straight to aliens. Yeah, no, I mean that's how I feel. I might be wrong, but like it just seems like that would be the only real reason because I don't know who would watch it and enjoy it. Like even like the audience that it's catered to, like I feel like they're smarter than that. Like, well, again, I might be given too much credit. Oh God, I'm not even gonna bother with the newest indie movie. Like I don't like to. I'm not. I don't. I don't like to do the whole like, well, somebody's too old to play the role or whatever kind of thing. But like, I can't imagine Harrison Ford being able to do too much action and stunt work. And once again, we're doing another pass the torch movie idea, which I actually liked that idea for some of these things in the very beginning. And then like it just, I feel like it's been beaten to death. Like, you know. Oh, yeah, no problem. But yeah, I feel like that entire trope of like, we're gonna have the old cast hand stuff over to the new cast. It's been done so much in the past like 4 or 5 years that I'm just like, can we get something new? Can we get something kind of fresh? Like, like you know, I get that like everything new is not going to be like an instant classic necessarily, but like, can we at least like make the attempt? Can we at least like try? And better yet, like, you know, there's nothing wrong with like learning more about writing and stuff and putting stuff together. It's not all just a system of oppression. Learn from elder statesmen in some ways, you know, like story structure. You got, you know, act one, act two, act three. Learn about plot points. Learn about, you know, inciting incidents, denouement, you know, when the climax comes, like, and more importantly, for modern day writing, it's like, make sure that everything you write connects to your main narrative. Don't just throw things in there extraneously that doesn't have a payoff. It's tempting at times, you know, like especially like if you're somebody like me, you really get into world building. And world building is really the most fun part, but it's like you want to make sure that everything in your story flows together in the same direction and that everything kind of builds on things. Now, yeah, that can get a little nebulous to navigate at times, you know, because like there are things that don't necessarily don't necessarily serve the overall plot, but they will like help flesh out your characters, you know, and help make them more relatable, things of that nature. But you know, you want everything to have some sort of a payoff, and that doesn't really happen so much in a lot of modern stuff I'm watching, or stuff that I'm just kind of learning about on the periphery, because I don't waste my time watching all this new crap. Like, I didn't bother to watch the new Matrix movie because like everything I was seeing about it and all the images, it didn't feel like it was worth it. And from everything I'm hearing, it's just kind of a clusterfuck of kind of weird ideas. I actually read a review on Twitter that literally laid out the entire plot. And what's the point of going meta with your own story? Like, what's the point of kind of mocking your previous entries in the story? Like, how is that like fun? People think, I guess, that there's like this thing, it's trendy to take the piss out of sci-fi in particular. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna go to Star Wars again because I feel like I've gone to that way too much. But it seemed like, starting with the new Star Wars trilogy, at least from my perspective, I just started noticing more and more, it's like you couldn't have a fantasy movie or a sci-fi movie without them deliberately like making fun of themselves or the genre, which is like, that's kind of fun here and there. But it's like when you make that your entire plot, it takes away all of the emotional buildup. It takes away all of your connection to the characters. It takes you out of the movie. It lets you know, hey, you're watching a movie. Like best example for me would be what Marvel has been doing recently. But even before like the newest stuff, I would say that Marvel I would say this trend started with Thor Ragnarok. And I liked Thor Ragnarok. I thought it was fun. Like it was a nice break from the monotony, I guess, of the way they were telling the story, because Thor: The Dark World was really it felt very formulaic and it felt very tired. And so like it was kind of fun to get like, okay, let's get kind of an action comedy out of this, you know. That was good, but I didn't think it was a perfect story in any regard. Like there were moments in it I remember, like at the very end when Asgard is destroyed. Like that's supposed to be a heavy moment for our main character and for everybody from Asgard. Like they literally just watched their planet blow up. And Taika Waititi just had to use the moment to make kind of a dark joke where, you know, he's got the rock guy making a thing of like, oh, it'll become a haven, and then it's blown up and he's like, oh, guess the foundations are gone, womp womp. And it's like you just took a very heavy emotional good moment and you took all of the weight out of it. You took all of the impact out, all gone. And you know, and that was the thing, like Infinity War for me was like they kind of picked up that area, that aspect with Thor's character when you know, there was that scene where he's talking to Rocket Raccoon and you can tell he's starting to get emotional because it's like the losses are piling up and he's struggling to maintain his brave face. Like that was a great character moment, and it was like I wanted to see something like that at the end of Ragnarok. And nope, we had to get a meta joke in there. We had to throw out the formula, and it's like, and the problem is that Marvel has been doing that repeatedly, because the biggest issue I have with a lot of modern Disney Marvel projects is this thing of like, hey, you know, this stuff we set up before that was really impactful, that was really emotional, let's undercut it, let's make fun of it, you know. And it's, I mean, yeah, I'm sure there are some sociopaths who find that stuff funny, but I don't, you know. Like I like to relate to the characters. I like to get emotional impact moments. I like to see the characters develop. And and you know, that's ultimately one of the biggest reasons I did not watch the Black Widow movie, was because they took a lot of the dramatic beats in her story and reduced them to punchlines. And same thing. That's why I didn't watch Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's why I didn't watch Captain Marvel, because you know it pretty much took all of the seriousness out of Nick Fury. Like, you know, they had this huge buildup for him in Winter Soldier that just got undercut by a cheap joke. It just wasn't worth it, you know. And another thing, like if you know, if you're gonna do comedy, like can't we get smart comedy again? Why does everything have to be you know, Tumblr style TikTok humor? Like why? Like it's not funny. It's funny if you're extremely simple or you're 8 years old. It's not funny. That's my rant for the day. But I mean, you know, I couldn't go a whole stream without going into a pop culture rant at some point. But yeah, that's the thing. I don't unlike, I know I was talking earlier about like outrage YouTube. I don't consider this really outrage. This is just my critique of it. Is like I don't watch this stuff really anymore. And I feel a little sad about that a little because I loved the Marvel movies like the way they were in the beginning, and it was like I wanted to continue to see where these characters were going, and it just again wasted potential left and right. Um, and it just seems like a lot of modern movies and stuff. It's like they're losing form. And what I mean by that is like they're not structured well. They're just kind of throwing out the ideas, and it feels like the ideas are getting thrown out while they're putting the movie together. It's like, well, what if we have this happen next and that happen next? And it's like they're doing that later than they should be. You know what I mean? Hell yeah, wise guys. I'm actually only gonna be on for I think about 4 more minutes because make it a nice round number hour. But yeah, I was just I went on a tangent about what I don't like in a lot of modern cinema, particularly. No, I know. Like yeah, I try to move away from that because I feel like I was I talk about Last Jedi so much. But I mean, like Last Jedi was kind of the kickoff for this slipshod kind of filmmaking that I've been noticing. But I feel like that it's mostly been prominent in modern Marvel stuff. How like they undercut their own plot lines with like their little attempts at meta humor, and how like you know moments that should be kind of a build up in the story of like drama or character development get wasted because they just want to make a joke about it. It's almost as if it's like they're making a superhero movie, but you can tell they don't want to make a superhero movie. And so it's like, let's just make fun of it the whole way through. Like, let's just laugh about the fact that we're making a superhero movie. And it's like, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. You know, like, I mean, I can kind of see how somebody feels like, oh, like I want to make movies, and it's like the only way I'm going to be successful is if I get on this big project, blah blah blah. But again, like if your heart's not in it, I feel like that's going to translate, at least to some people. It's going to translate through the movie itself. And in a way, like the Star Wars trilogy, I think is a good reference point for that, because I really don't care what he says. I think Rian Johnson wasn't a fan of Star Wars, or at least he wasn't a fan of the audiences for Star Wars, because it felt like he was like, I want to change the way people see Star Wars. I want to change the way people react to Star Wars. So he decided to do his own thing with it, and it came off as kind of snarky and really not funny. Like none of his attempts at humor in that movie made me laugh really. I think I got a slight chuckle out of the moment with Luke and Ray when he like tickled her hand. That was like a slight chuckle, but it was like it felt kind of forced. A lot of it felt forced. That's my Last Jedi thing for the rest of the day. I got to stop talking about Last Jedi. Because, I feel like I'm finally past that trauma in a way. It's a good example to reference in terms of like what I'm talking about people undercutting their own plot lines. But yeah. So we have hit about an hour, And I think I've rambled enough. Oh God, yeah. Yeah, they don't even, yeah, the force isn't even a thing anymore. It's just kind of a, it's kind of a good writing, it's kind of a good plot device you can use to get out of a situation. That's about it. But anyway, um, that's gonna wrap it up for me today. I think I'm gonna try to do another stream on Friday. So if anybody wants to hop on, I'm totally down. And thank you, wise guys. Thank you, wise guys. I appreciate it. And of course, thank everybody who's going to be watching this in a replay. Thank you if you got this far. If you like anything I have to say, hit the like button. Subscribe to this here YouTube channel. And of course, get on Indiegogo. Type in Outlaw Nights. You'll see it right there. Go to the Outlaw Nights page. Get yourself a copy. What are you waiting for? We don't have any meta jokes in Outlaw Nights. We're taking our plot lines seriously, damn it. And we're doing new characters that are actually diverse. And they were always diverse. And issue 2's mailing list is going to be coming hopefully within the next month or so. And get on Indiegogo right now because of the fact that we're only going to be in demand till about mid-January. Then I'm going to be taking her down, and so I want to make sure everybody gets the word. I'm preaching the word of Outlaw Nights. I mean, you got nothing to lose. Well, I shouldn't say it like that. That's stupid. Because I mean, again, like I was saying earlier, don't waste your time on bad entertainment. But I've been investing in making this good entertainment, so get on it. And this has been Fusebox Engaged, and I will engage you all on Friday.